So how do we find the percent composition of all the elements here inside of barium bromate? Well, it turns out I'm going to use a table to help me out, and first we got to find the total mass of the element. Bam! So the first thing is I'm going to write the elements that I see inside the compound. So I have barium, I have bromine, and I have oxygen. Next is I'm going to write down the number of atoms of each, right? So at the bottom of barium there is an invisible 1, so that means that there's 1 barium in barium bromate. Then the bromine, right? So this is bromate. So inside of every single bromate, there is 1 bromine here, but you have 2 bromates. So meaning in total, you would have 2 bromines. The way to look at that is you simply take the outside subscript and multiply it by the inside subscript of that particular element to find the total amount of atoms of that element. So it's simply going to be a 2 here for bromine, and we can follow that same logic, and it would be 6 then for oxygen. Then we're going to take those values of those atoms, and we're going to multiply by the mass of each particular element. That's where the periodic table comes into play. So let's take a look. So barium's mass down here is 137.33, bromine is 79.90, and oxygen is about 16. Now, those masses will be in terms of either grams per mole if you're finding molar mass, or AMU if you're finding molecular mass, and it turns out that that's nice and easy, straightforward, right? So let's go plug in the values. So the mass of barium, as we mentioned, was 137.33. The mass of bromine then was 79.90, and the mass of oxygen was 16. Now what we're simply going to do is take those masses and multiply by the number of atoms to then find the total mass of that particular element in the compound. So the total mass of bromine in that compound, barium, is going to be, right, the B's, they get confusing after a while, B, 137.33. Then for bromine, we're simply going to take 79.9 and multiply by 2 because we have 2 bromines. Right, so that works out to be a total of about 159.80. And then 6 oxygens, each oxygen is 16, so simply multiply that across. That's going to be about 96 for oxygen. Then to find the total of everything, the total mass of the whole compound, just simply add this column up. Add these all together, and the total mass now of barium bromate is going to be 393.13. Now, since we found the total mass of barium bromate, we can finally now find the percent of each particular element inside of this compound. Now, it doesn't matter the units here. You can use gram per mole or AMU. It really does not make a difference. I'm going to leave the units out because it really is irrelevant. But what I need to do is I need to add another column to the table. So here, take a look. Bam. So to now find the mass percent of barium, we're simply going to take the total mass of barium and divide it by the total mass of the entire compound, and then simply multiply by 100, right? I mean, that's a simple percent calculation. Part over whole times 100. So this is going to be, I'll write it out, 137.33, divided then by 393.13, and then multiply that by 100. All right, now since I don't have a lot of space, I'm going to wind up erasing this, so if you want to write it down, pause the video quickly. But that's the work. And once we throw this now on into the calculator, all right, we're going to get a percentage here of about 34.93%. And that's it for barium. Now we're going to do the same thing for bromine. Take the total amount of bromine, divide it by the total mass of the compound, multiply by 100. Same exact process, right? Same exact process. Go back and take a look at the math. What we're going to do is substitute this mass in instead of this mass. All right? So that works out to be about 40.65%. And then the same thing for oxygen. Take this mass of oxygen, divide by the total mass of the compound, multiply by 100, and that's going to now work out to be about 24.42%. All right, so check yourself then. Just add that up, and it should work out to be then 100% in total, right? That should hopefully make sense. And that's all there is to it, right? It's really not that bad. It's not that bad, all right? A lot of times you want structures to help organize your thoughts, and when you do have something like that, it makes it relatively easy. That's what we specialize in. Guys, thanks so very much for tuning in. All right, we got thousands of more videos out there for you just to help you through your classes. We really do hope this helped. And if it did, if you could just do us a quick favor, like, subscribe, tell your friends, it helps us out tremendously, all right? And we'd be forever thankful. Thank you very much.